there are two more bits of functionality that we need to complete our shopping cart. So what you're looking at is a finished version of PrintBay, and you can see that when we add an item to the cart here, over the shopping cart icon, we get this little badge indicating how many items are in the cart. So I add another one, you can see that keeps increasing. Secondly, on the cart page itself, you'll see that we get a total value over here on the right. And we're not currently getting that in the version that we're developing. To implement these features, we're going to need to create some custom Vuex getters. Now the perfect place for these is in our item module file, which is designed for extending the features of our models. So you recall that we set this file up earlier when we created our model, but we haven't used it as of yet. So let's start by working on the cart count feature. So we'll give this export object a property getters, and we'll assign an object to it. Now on the getters object, we want to create a new getter. Now it's a best practice to name your getters with a constant. Now I've defined a bunch of constants that are needed in this app in a separate constants file. Looking in the constants file, at the top, you can see some constants that I've created for Vuex, including one called cart count, which is the one that we want to use now. So let's go back to our module file, and at the top of the file, we're going to import that constant. So we're going to go import cart count from constants. Now, my IDE didn't give it the proper location, so I'll just fix that. Now we can name our getter cart count like that, and we can assign to it an arrow function where state will be the argument. So that's how you define a getter in normal Vuex. We're going to have to work with all our item model instances in order to total the cart count. So looking in View DevTools, we can see that our item models are stored in an object. So if we go to the state and go to entities, items, and data, here are all our item instances. And the reason I bring this up is because you might have assumed that all the item instances were part of an array, but they're actually part of an object, and this is going to be relevant. Coming back to our getter, let's return a call to object entries state data. Now what this does is it turns our object of items into an array of items. Now we do this so that we can iterate the items more easily and extract the cart value from each one. So the next thing we'll do is chain on a reduce method. Now this is a JavaScript array method, and what it does is it reduces the members of an array down to a single value, and in this case that's going to be the cart count. So we can pass a function as the first argument to reduce, and this one is going to have two arguments, count and item. Now count is the value that we're going to reduce to, while item will alias the current item in the iteration. We'll also pass a second argument to reduce, which is the initial value of the count. So let's make this 0. Now in the function body, let's add to the cart count by going count plus equals, and we want to add item array member number 2 dot cart. So the reason that we have to access that array member there is just due to the structure of the data in Vuex ORM. Our item objects are actually arrays themselves, and to get a model value, we need to access the second member of the array. But after that, we can simply return the count. With our custom getter now made, we can go ahead and use it in our components. So the component I've got open here is the sticky nav component, and inside this, we've already got the markup created for our badge. So you'll see it's this cart items interpolation here is how we're going to display it. So all we need to do now is create a value for cart items. And currently it's just a computed property returning 0. Let's instead replace that with the value from our getter. So we're going to go this store getters. And this is the standard way of accessing getters from Vuex. Now the name of this specific getter is going to be entities/items/cart count. However, remember that cart count is a constant. So we're first going to need to import that at the top of the file. So we're already importing some constants up here. So let's just go and add cart count to that as well. Now what we can do is make a reference to a dynamic property down here by using square brackets, and we're going to put a template literal in that. And as I said, the name of the getter is entities/items/ and then we can put a variable cart count like that. So with that done, if we go ahead and add an item to our cart now, you'll see that we're getting that cool badge up there over our shopping cart item. And looking in the Vuex tab as well, if we come down and look at our list of getters, you'll see that this getter now appears amongst the other ones in Vuex ORM, so we can keep an eye on it from the DevTools as well.